People who are not a threat to anybody get taken from their homes, from their jobs, from their families, because they can't post $500 in bail. It's crazy. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I think it's, you'll forgive the expression, ass backwards.
The system works almost as if we're in Alice in Wonderland and you get sentence first, trial second, because the system works if you can't afford to make bail, you remain in jail.
I can't get bailed out. I don't have money like that. I don't have money yet, period.
We need major reform to prevent the role of money in determining who is free pretrial and who is not.
Fact: 60% of the people incarcerated in New York jails have not been convicted of any crime. Fact: many of those are being held for non-violent offenses because they cannot afford even minimal bail. Conclusion: New York's bail system is broken, discriminates against the poor, and must be fixed. This is Bail or Jail, Forgetting Fairness. Now, Richard French Live.
Now, behind me is Rikers Island. It's perhaps one of the most infamous jails in the country. On any given day, it houses about 12,000 inmates from across the tri-state area that are arrested in one of New York City's 5 boroughs. Now, charges against those held on Rikers, they range from murder to petty offenses like jumping a turnstile in a subway station, possessing a small amount of marijuana, failing to pay even a few speeding tickets. Now, it's this latter group, often those at the bottom of the economic food chain, who can't afford to post even a modest amount of bail. The result? They remain locked up. This 18-year-old was one of them. Christopher Robinson ran into a problem with police when caught with a stolen cell phone. With no criminal record, he was placed on probation. He was sent to Rikers for a probation violation when he missed curfew because he was asked to work overtime at his minimum wage job. His bail, it was set at $250. But as you'll see tragically, Christopher Robinson, he would not leave Rikers Island alive.
He made a mistake, he paid for it, and I expected him to come home.
Christopher, he never made it home. He was beaten to death by a gang of fellow inmates.
The system failed him, and that the probation department sent this hard-working young man, merely trying to improve himself by working overtime, back to jail because he violated his curfew because he was working.
Ultimately, Robinson's mother reached a $2 million settlement with the city.
Literally, he was beaten to death. That is a horrible way to die.
Cases such as those involving Robinson, they capture headlines. Supporters of bail reform hope that it helps change the minds of those who believe locking up even minor offenders is a smart way to fight crime. New York's hard-hitting chief judge, Jonathan Lippman, he's not one of them. Earlier this year, in his annual State of the Judiciary address, it was Lippman who called the current bail system a virtual crime in itself.
To avoid these results, our bail statutes must be reformed to make clear that where defendants are charged with nonviolent offenses, there is a statutory presumption that they will be released with the least restrictive conditions possible.
The concept of jail and bail goes back more than 1,000 years to the Magna Carta, finalized in 1215. The same concepts were adopted by America's founding fathers in the 8th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. In fact, the bail clause of the 8th, it prohibits courts from requiring excessive bail in most cases. Extremely violent crimes and terrorism, there are some exceptions in which bail can be denied altogether. However, what's not excessive for someone can be very excessive for someone else. Meet 50-year-old Cece. Barely standing 5 feet tall, she weighs in at less than 100 pounds. She asked that we not use her last name. Recently, she spent 45 days locked up on Rikers. She was arrested after police raided her apartment looking for drugs they thought someone her son knew had stashed there.
I can't get bailed out. I don't have money like that. I don't have money yet, period.
Cece is talking about $3,000 cash or a secured bond for 10% of that, along with a bailsman's fee. she had neither. After a month and a half, during which time Cece lost weight and reportedly insisted she had no drug connections, she was finally released without bail. So why 45 days on Rikers Island? Some critics of the present jail and bail system in New York, they answer it could be coercion. In other words, set unrealistic bail for the person, see what that person might say or confess in their desperation to get out of jail, whether guilty of a crime or not.
So I don't think it was fair. Had I had money, I would have got out. I would have did those 45 days.
Ever since his State of the Judiciary speech in February, Chief Judge Jonathan Lippman has remained fiercely passionate about the issue, even while admitting his stand is controversial.
It's crazy. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I think it's, you'll forgive the expression, ass backwards.
Now, we're going to hear much more from Judge Lippman, including his views on what he calls the excessive cost of the current system to taxpayers. That's coming up later on in this special broadcast. But up next on Bail or Jail, Forgetting Fairness.
It's a situation that needs major reform, needs a major overhaul to address what's a shocking situation in New York State.
And later, love them or hate them, they're an integral part of the system. They are bail bondsmen. Much more on Bail or Jail, Forgetting Fairness. That's coming up.